Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Manifest with Tori Simone. I hope you guys are locked in and ready to go because I have the most insane episode that is about to bless your ears and fall across your desk. I swear this is going to become a Bible episode. If you are someone that is looking to start on social media, you want to grow on social media, or you just want to enter the realm of content creation. Maybe you've done it for so long, you want to pivot, you want to build a brand, you want to build a niche, anything that has to do with influencing, content creation, this episode is going to be the holy grail episode for you. Today I have on Kayla, who is a TikToker, Instagrammer, influencer, YouTuber, like she does it all. She does not hold back, you guys. She is growing so fast on TikTok and Instagram. She has really mastered creating a niche, creating a brand, and she tells you every single thing that she does step by step. Her content strategy, how she develops hooks, how she creates her content, batches her content, edits her content, her posting schedule. She gives you times, she gives you frequency. Like, she does not hold back with how much she tells you in today's episode. If you are looking to get serious about your business of social media or begin the business of social media, this is the episode to start with. Kayla is absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. So make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're watching this on YouTube, please definitely subscribe. If you're listening on any sort of podcast platform, please be sure to follow and rate the show 5 stars. It helps so much. And without any further ado, please welcome Kayla to Manifest with Tori Simone. Hey Kayla, welcome to Manifest.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming on. I thought it'd be really cool if you wouldn't mind sharing like what you shared with me a few minutes ago about how you've been listening to Manifest for so long.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just telling Tori that I've been listening to her podcast since 2017. When did you start it? Was it 2017 or maybe?
2019 is when I started, but I was definitely on YouTube.
Oh, so I'm making up 2017. Okay. No, I swear, I just told her, wherever you said this, whether it was podcast or YouTube, because I remember starting this in high school and I graduated high school in 2017, so like that's why I have that in my head. But you said you need to write down your manifestations, I am statements, 10 of them every single day, the same statements, what you want your life to be, what you want to manifest. Like, vividly remember the moment I heard you say that, and since then I've been doing it for all of these years. And the first thing on my list was I live in California, and I'm from Connecticut, so I've always wanted to live in California, and that was number one up until 2 years ago, and then it became my reality. And it's just like insane. It took 5 years for that to become, but you just have to keep being persistent, keep writing it down. It seems so silly, but then I'm continuing to just see my list of manifestations evolve, kind of replacing them. And obviously your podcast is called Manifest, so that's where it comes from. But definitely insane just to like look back and see, like, I heard that from you, I'm still doing it, and like now here we are.
It really is so cool. And I was kind of telling you offline too, like it goes so full circle, like seeing influencers now that I follow, and then I'll start chatting with them. They're like, oh, I used to watch you and stuff. Like, it just always comes so full circle. And that's kind of how we connected, is you mentioned, I think, me in one of your TikTok, a comment like on your TikTok.
Anytime someone asks for a podcast rec, I'm like, you and the Skinny Confidential, like those are my two.
It is so nice, and to be in such good company, like that really is so kind. But I instantly after that became addicted to your TikTok and everything that you post about. So if you wouldn't mind, for anyone that might be unfamiliar, could you just give like a little elevator pitch about what it is that you do, what your TikTok, what your social media is all about?
100%. So on the social media side, I basically have been posting on social media for years, at least 5 years now. I've always posted on YouTube. I always posted on TikTok, but it never really amounted to anything. And then I made a new account back in, I think it was October. So I made a new TikTok account, and then I just started, I had a conversation with my friend, and I'm like, what do I post that is, it's gonna resonate? And she's like, well, you're really good at giving advice. And it's so funny because that's like been my thing for my whole life. It's like, I'm like the big sister, I'll give the advice, like I have the words of wisdom. But you don't necessarily, like, of course there's creators out there giving advice, but you see everyone doing their hair and their makeup and their vlogs. But also I think that comes with once you've grown and established an audience, then people care more about your life. So I was like, okay, let me like start giving advice, sharing like my thoughts. And then it started to click. And then honestly, I've experienced like crazy growth in like my personal opinion. I think maybe because my other TikTok, it still exists. It has like 1,800 followers over like 6 years. So once the TikTok started gaining traction with these advice videos, it was resonating. Clearly, people wanted to hear more. I ended up making a new Instagram account and then started posting on that a couple of months later. And then this always seems to happen. The week I'm like, oh, we're at 700 view jail. Like, okay, like, am I still gonna do I want to put the time in? And then I question myself, and then I just keep going. And then it's like that week is when like the videos start gaining traction and people start resonating on Instagram, and then Instagram starts growing. And it's honestly the same content. And I think I'm still in the beginning stages where eventually like we'll start to diversify. It won't be like copy, paste, repeat. But I do work full time, so it's kind of trying to figure out how to balance that. So yeah, I mean, create a new account, be consistent. I post 3 times a day, and it's been a lot, but yeah. And I feel like you're so entrepreneurial where this would resonate with you, where I feel like posting is a very creative outlet, but the second I like took a step back and I'm like, I'm really good at business. I'm really organized. If I treat this like a business, what I'm good at, like, let's see where it goes. So I have like reminders set on my phone of when to post every single day. I'll like batch the content, and then I'll batch the filming, batch the editing. I'll come up with like my scripts or my ideas. It's like, okay, I'm treating it like a business, and it's a lot easier to sustain. And clearly I'm good at business, so that's what's working for me. So being like strategic about it as well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I love the idea of treating it like a business because honestly, it is.
100%.
Yeah, social media is definitely a huge industry, and I feel like we kind of saw that when the TikTok ban happened too. Like as the immediate surge to get it back up because it is so powerful and it is such a huge industry. I feel like that, if anything, just kind of, I don't know, solidified what influencers and content creators have been saying for years. Like, guys, this is serious. Take this, legitimately. But I love what you said about how you post 3 times a day and you batch everything out. What does like a weekly schedule for you look like? Because I know you also work full time, 9 to 5, and we can kind of chat about that too. But like, how do you plan out all of your content, get all of your ideas? You batch the filming, batch the editing. Can you just talk to me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's a whole system. And I'm like very type A and OCD, so I feel like I'm on one end of the spectrum. So whatever works for you is like what I would recommend. But for like content, my weekends are my weekends to work on this. Like I spend Saturday and Sunday filming, editing, planning. I have like Google Sheets, Google Docs, script ideas. If I see, I'm doing like a little series on the Let Them book. I don't know if you've read it.
Yeah, love it.
Unreal. Listening to the audiobook and is full of so much wisdom. So I'll be listening to that, and then I'll be taking notes on what resonates with me, and then I'll kind of think on it, write on it, come up with like something I want to share. And then I have a whole Google Doc of these are my content ideas. This is going to be the text on the screen. This is going to be the caption. This is kind of my content calendar, like a loose guideline to follow. And then while I'm filming this, I have these 8 other videos I want to film. And I oftentimes sit in the car drinking my coffee. I feel like that's kind of my thing. So a lot of it is like in the morning before work, I'll be able to film. And then at night, I'll be able to edit. So it kind of just depends on like what kind of content. And I'm trying to lean into more of the product recommendation and like, let me share my hair. I get so many questions on my hair, like let me share on that. So branching off into that, literally taking all my products, sitting in the car. People are like, why are you taking all these into the car? I'm like, guys, I have to be in the car.
Yeah.
And so like kind of diversifying that, but that would be something more I'd like film on the weekend, just like with more time and like a deeper script just to be able to like make sure I get all my points across. So yeah, it's nonstop essentially because I wake up. What I've been doing lately as well is I've been going on like 1.5 hour long walks, which seems like crazy. But 1, I live in California. I'm very lucky that the weather has been beautiful. And 2, it's like my quiet time to just work and like get inspiration. Like I'm in nature, I'm getting fresh air. Like it's just me, my AirPods, and like my thoughts. Or I'll listen to a podcast or something. So that's kind of been my self-care way to start the day, and I think it sets me up because I'm like, okay, I got everything I needed to get out before 9 a.m. and now I'm ready to like take on the work day, and then once the work day's over, I'm ready to like be creative again.
Yeah, I love that. I kind of want to go back to when you said you made new TikTok and Instagram accounts. Why did you do that? Was it just because you thought like your other ones weren't growing, you want to start fresh? Like, can you walk me through the mindset of doing that?
Yes, honestly, I live with my boyfriend and his two brothers, and mainly his two brothers do a ton of TikTok marketing. My boyfriend directs music videos, so he's like in the social space, but also like kind of in a different way. But they're like, why don't you just make a new account? Like sometimes like they're out here making different accounts every single day for whatever artist they're working with or whoever it is. Like sometimes you just need to, like, I don't understand the algorithm, no one does, but like what's the harm in trying? And it wasn't overnight where it grew. Like it was the first few months, it was again 300 view jail. Is anyone even watching this? But at the end of the day, I was proud of what I was putting out, and you just, if you actually care about it, you're always going to find success when you're consistent. Like there's no doubt about it. If you're committing to something, I think Mel Robbins said, I was listening to the audiobook last night, like a quote from Tom Brady where like you don't have to be special to win, you just have to be willing to do what other people aren't. Which, staying consistent, putting in the hard work, because at the end of the day, it's hard work is what's going to get you there. But then you see once someone's gotten there and like, oh, it wasn't work, like they're just there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend, what's the harm in trying a new account if your current one isn't growing, or you want to maybe just like reset. Maybe you don't want other people in high school seeing your stuff. Personally, like I didn't really care like who was following me, who saw it.
Yeah.
It was more of just trying to be strategic. But I know like that is a concern for some people. So it's like, who cares? Just make a new account. Make 4 different accounts and do different niches on every account and just see where it goes.
Oh my God, that is a great outlook. I really like that. I want to talk about the mindset that you have, because, you know, we talk about, and we also see creators always getting into like the view jail that you're talking about and the consistency. How do you push through that? Because it is discouraging when you base everything off numbers.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, I tell my friends this too. Like, I'm not really scrolling too much. I scroll for 10 minutes before I post. I think that's another like strategy thing where you want to be interacting. Also, like you have friends on there that you want to support their content, but getting like down the rabbit hole of comparing yourself to someone else is never going to serve you, or someone else's content, someone else's whatever they're doing, because they're not you. So I think just being like knowing what you're doing and having the confidence in that and putting that out there isn't going to steer you wrong, as long as you know in yourself that you're doing what's true to you and what's authentic. If it doesn't work, try again, try something different, like re-strategize.
Yeah. When you made your new accounts too, also going back to the whole business mindset of it, did you have an end goal in mind? Like, I'm making these accounts because I want XYZ. Do I want to make this full time? Do I want to make a certain amount of money? Like, you don't have to share necessarily what exactly they are.
Yeah.
But did you have those goals in mind?
I think there's always, I've been posting on, like I said, on YouTube for years. I was watching YouTube when you were on YouTube. I just was never posting on it then, which of course you see like the Danielle Carolins, the Brooke Mitchells, like where they are now, full on career from having done that. So then I feel like I finally obviously started staying consistent on YouTube, and that's like the most work and the most energy, but that's like my smallest platform. I think I knew I had this in me where like you could do this too, and I feel like I'm passionate about it, and I feel like it's all a source of inspiration and like influence, but like I know I could have a positive one, and I would want to share that. And also when I moved to California, like my family loves like consuming my stuff because like we live across the country, so that was also a motivator. So I think that the end goal was to acknowledge what I've been feeling my whole life and continue to give it a chance. I mean, I've felt called to share and create my whole life, but it does keep you motivated when it eventually starts to amount to something. But that whole time it didn't, I kept going. So I think, of course, and also I am in LA. I think there's so many opportunities. So being able to take advantage of, I'm not going to be here forever. So like while I'm here, everyone you turn is a creator, and like maybe that's not what they do full time. But there's so many unlocks and opportunities there where I just wanted to, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I tried that. And like, here I am, I tried it, it's working. Like, I'm just going to keep leaning in and see where it goes.
Yeah. You, I feel like, have really mastered finding a niche and building a brand. Like when I think of you, I literally think of like the pink bow emoji. Like your name in my phone is the emojis that you put on your TikTok.
That's amazing. Oh my
And
gosh.
I think of your car. Is it a Tesla? Because it looks like one.
It's my boyfriend's, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I think of your car. I think of your iced coffee. I think of like you said your hair. Like everyone talks about your hair. It's so true. You have gorgeous hair. Like you've built such an amazing brand around you within your niche. Could you maybe speak on a little bit of how to find a niche, how to build a brand, things like that?
I think that's the hardest part because I was looking at what was popular opposed to what was authentic to myself. And of course, you can go beyond that. Like you don't have to just be committed to one thing. Like I said, I'm trying to branch out and I'm trying to, because I care about more than just giving advice. I care about cooking and I care honestly about cleaning and I care about like the way I look and like shopping and doing this and going to restaurants. But like at my core, what is most authentic to me, and like my friends from childhood and high school will tell you this, is I think, how I carry myself, my outlook, my perspective. So it's crazy that my friend telling me, Kayla, like you're really good at giving advice. It took that light bulb of someone else to tell me what is so innate to me to be like, oh wait, like maybe that's what I do. And also, I feel lucky enough that I get to share like my thoughts or wisdom where other creators, they have a whole production behind what they do. And it's probably a lot more work. Not to say that what I'm doing isn't like a lot of work and I'm putting a lot of energy into it, but like an ASMR creator or like you have to have your whole like house silent and like the perfect lighting and all of this and like the nice camera and the crazy editing. Sometimes you have to just start small, see what's working, see what you're capable of now. And if it's true to you, I would never see it not growing or not becoming like what you feel it could become.
Yeah, authenticity is so key. I couldn't agree more. I feel like if you try to ever be someone that you're not, like people are going to sniff that out right away, right? Like
exactly.
Everything has to be authentic. And I think that's really what resonates with you and a lot of people with your content. All of your advice is so, it feels like it's coming from a friend. And that is really nice. Like, because people don't know you on the internet, you know what I mean? But then when you get the advice and it's like, oh, this feels kind and warm and genuine, that really comes across. And I think that's just because, like what you said, you're authentically good at giving advice. And I love how you said you don't really scroll a lot because it's so easy, especially being like a creator, to go on TikTok or Instagram and scroll and then kind of turn off the consumer mindset and just look at it as like, okay, now I'm looking at my competitors almost. And that's not a good headspace to be in.
No, I mean, everyone's posting something like you could take inspiration, but if you let the comparison take over, like you're just going to stay where you are.
Yeah, 100%. I would love if you could touch a little bit about how you manage your time being an influencer and working full time. And I know we kind of chatted about it a little bit before, but you also mentioned that you like walk every morning. So maybe just give us like a day in your life of what 100%. It looks like.
So I went home for the holidays to Connecticut, and I swear, like, and I came back at the beginning of the year in California. I swear, me and my boyfriend have been just waking up so early every day, and like for us, early is like 6:30, which is not normal. And also, daylight savings is around the corner, so we'll see how long that lasts. But it's been so enjoyable to wake up, have a slow morning, not even a slow morning, but like not have to rush. So I honestly wake up. Sometimes I'll go on my phone. Sometimes I won't. Get up, brush my teeth, ice my face, Skinny Confidential ice roller, 100,000,000%, like you need it. I want to get the small compact one just because I need it. And then I'll make my coffee. Oftentimes I'll film making my coffee, and then I'll sit in the car once I've made my coffee and film, depending on the day. Typically, yes, though. And then I'll go on my walk, get all my stuff done on my phone, check my phone, kind of get set up for the day. And then typically 9 a.m. hits and it's my work day. I told Tori before we started, we can get into this after, I actually just decided that this will be my last month at my full-time job, which was a very hard decision to arrive at. But again, like if you know deep down in your core what's meant for you, Bethany Frankel posted on TikTok and said, you have to jump to fly. And like that completely resonated with me. Also, I'm 25. What better time to get uncomfortable, to grow, try something new and whatnot. So then I work from home, which I love. I think some people don't. For me, it's like, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. I absolutely love it. I just feel a lot more productive. I'm in my own space, working from my computer. And then typically when the day wraps up, around 5-ish, I like take a breather, like literally take a breath, probably go outside if the sun's still out, like just chill. And then I normally cook dinner for my boyfriend and his brothers. So depending on the day, I'll cook dinner. We'll kind of have a nice dinner, like chat about the day, and then shower. I love showering is my favorite time of the day as well. Like just to like wash off the day, reset.
Yep.
Quick skincare routine, and then honestly, I have a ton of like my social work that I try and get done. So whether it's like just checking my social media, doing my last post of the day, replying to comments, or planning out like my next set of content. I have a good like 5-ish hours to get that done. And then probably in bed, 9:30, 10:30, around that time, asleep always before 11, and then repeat.
That's amazing. When you edit, do you set out a specific time to edit? Do you edit on a computer? Do you like using your phone? Talk to me a little bit about that, because I think editing takes up so much more time than people think.
Oh, it does. It's crazy. So for my TikToks, I record everything, majority in app. I also, again, strategy, I think TikTok might like that and might push it. That could also be a theory. I'm not sure. So I edit all in TikTok, and once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty quick. Especially, I also like really fast cut things. So like I cut out like every space and like try to make it as quick as possible. And then those videos all get repurposed to Instagram and YouTube Shorts. So again, I'm editing it once, but like repurposing it across platforms. And then YouTube, typically all the filming is on the weekend, and I try to keep my editing like Sunday night, try to get it up for Tuesday. That's all Final Cut Pro. Again, once you learn it, you get it. And then like I've mentioned a few times, like my boyfriend directs music videos. So like anytime I have a question, like I'm so lucky that he could just answer me.
Yeah.
Because it could get very confusing. And then what else? It's honestly just that. And then for stories, I have a reminder on my phone at like 7 p.m. every day, like post stories. If I have any photos I took that day or any content I took that day that I want to share, I'll just sit for like half an hour, like getting those up. And then that's really it.
I love that, batching stories. That's such a good tip, because I will like go on Instagram to post something, and then I'm like, oh wait, let me just scroll. And then I like waste, I don't know, 5 minutes every time. And then that adds 100%. Up throughout the day. It's a great idea.
Exactly.
You have like the formula for a TikTok nailed. Would you share a little bit about your formula?
Oh, I still feel like I have plenty to work on, and I attribute it to everyone I live with, because they're like marketing magicians, so they're very helpful. But I post, like I said, 3 times a day. I have reminders set. I use reminders for everything, but I think I have one at like 7 a.m., noon, and then 5. Whether I post exactly at that time, no, but I'm not checking off the reminder until like that task has been done.
Yeah.
So I'll post on TikTok. In either before or after, I'll scroll on the For You page, interact, see like who I follow, see what they posted, interact, post. I always save. People have these things called playlists on TikTok, but I think they're kind of confusing. I use collections where it's like the save button. So like I'll have, somehow you could find that on my page, and then you could like, I have an advice folder and I have a hair folder. You could watch all of that at once. So I always make sure to do that. Once I post, I'll save it to the folder and then close out of the app. I'm not like crazy of like, oh, I close out, I can't go back in. Like it is what, like I'll go check, whatever. And then I'll immediately post on Instagram. I'll copy the caption. I will take the video. It saves to your camera roll without the watermark. I'll post on Instagram. I literally don't scroll on Instagram at all.
That's amazing.
I look at stories. Yeah. That's why it's crazy to me too, because I'm like, people are on Reels. Like who's using Reels? Like half the population.
Yeah. You're really good at making hooks. How do you come up with those?
So, this is a good strategy. Like study what works for you and redo it over and over and over and over again. Like I have to talk with my hands. People like make fun of me, but not make fun of me, but people will comment on it. Well, thank you. 1, you're commenting to boost the post. And 2, it's to like get your attention where I'm not just like sitting here stale. And then different hooks work. Like, you'll see a lot of videos I do are like hot take on friendships. I don't have that many hot takes on friendships, but those videos really resonate. So I'll like sit and think on what else is someone maybe feeling that this will like make sense to them, or they'll feel seen by me saying this. And like those videos just do very well. So of course I'm going to want to do more of those, but while staying like true to myself. I'm never like pulling things out of thin air to be like, oh, like this doesn't align with me, but I'm going to share it anyway. Like it's never that, because I also don't think that would work. I think you'll be able to see right through it. But whatever works on your page, sort it by popular, see what hooks work. Like I wear glasses too. I think for some reason, like maybe that helps like identify me, like, oh, she's sitting in the car with her coffee with her glasses on with her hair like blown out, like that's Kayla.
Yeah.
So like just like identifiers like that, and then working smarter, not harder. What's working, double down, try new things out. It may not work. I've been posting like more branded content as well. Sometimes it doesn't do as well. Honestly, I think depending on the campaign, sometimes they just want, a brand just wants good content to be able to use and repurpose, and like that gets the job done. It may not get as many views as my advice videos. Like it's probably not going to. But I also have been trying to encourage myself and like any brand I work with to allow me to like naturally integrate any brand partnership into my content that works. And I think it's a harder conversation to have, because some brands are very like, oh, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. I've done a few things with Salt and Stone, but they're like, okay, can you sit in the car with your glasses on, doing your hook that you always do, and then chatting? I'm like, easy, done. I could do this 100 times over. And it does better. It works well. It is authentic. I'm obsessed with the products. If anyone hasn't tried them out, they're actually unreal. But stuff like that, kind of taking a step back and working on your business or on your platform as opposed to in it, I think is important too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't agree more with brands. I actually feel like they're beginning to really understand that, which thank goodness, because, you know, back in the day it was like, here's your script, say exactly what we want you to say. And it would just never perform as well. So I love that with Salt and Stone. I want to talk, in the very beginning, you mentioned that like you don't have imposter syndrome and like, you know, you don't really care. Have you always been like that, or did you have to tell yourself something to believe it? What advice do you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. My mom's a therapist and like is my best friend. I think that's probably an unfair advantage to me, but she's just completely shaped me and who I am and how I think and what I do. But I also think from like a younger age, I've always been very mindful of what I consume, and like subconsciously, like people will tell me like you've literally like trained your brain to think a certain way, and to me it feels very innate, but to whoever's following along or whoever sees my videos, it might be like a surprise and like something that they needed to hear to kind of shift their mindset or think in a different direction like that better serves them. So I think it's a muscle you have to exercise and exercise over again. And I did a video on this a few weeks ago, but like brainwash yourself like positively, where sometimes you really have to put in the work. It didn't like, of course I have certain things that are just me. That's just how I am. But like I listened to your podcast for years, the Skinny Confidential podcast for years. I'm very mindful of who I follow and what content I consume and who I even am around in real life. I think your environment is everything. I think that impacts every aspect of your life. So it's something if you really are driven and you want to change how you think or change something in your life for the better, like the only person who's going to be able to change it is you. And I think sometimes it takes something very painful or maybe something like a big event that may not be the most positive for you to kind of have a reality check to be like, okay, this is what I need to do for myself moving forward. And then it's a never ending thing. Like I've been making some like bigger decisions lately, and I literally tell my friends, I have to take my own advice. I literally have to watch what I say and reabsorb it, because of course advice is easy to give, but you have to remember to be able to take it. Where I think I did a video, or it's like in my drafts, of sometimes the hardest decision is the right decision. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to like drill that into my brain. I need to keep reminding myself of that. And yeah, so long story short, that's you have to work on it. I feel like I have trained my brain, and it's been like years and years and years. So if you want something, like you're the only person who can make it happen.
1,000%. And circling back to the big decisions, you're leaving your job.
Yeah, and that was like crazy decision to have to make. I've been at the company for 4 years, and there's been a lot of history and like so much that has gone on, and so much that has been rewarding, and so much I've learned. But I think all good things can come to an end, and they can come to an end in a healthy, professional way that serves you. And that's what was my biggest thing. Like, I'm like, I want to end this on a good note. And honestly, I'm ending this to do something for me that I see my potential in, that I'm taking a chance on myself, that I'm following my dreams. And anyone who doesn't see that or wouldn't agree with it doesn't care about me. And then I haven't run into that situation yet where someone would like be against it. Yeah. But it would just be like, okay, if you're not seeing my vision, then you don't care about me. And that's honestly not the energy I want like in my life. And it's as simple as that. But it's hard to make decisions for yourself. It's very hard, especially when you, like I said, you know the right thing, like deep down in your core. It's not the easiest thing to make. But oftentimes that's like the one that you should be making.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to ask about some of the products that you use on a daily basis, because to me, you are like so it girl. You always look amazing. You just like look like you smell so good. You're always so clean. Like, what are some of the products that you love using? Like makeup, beauty, hair, it could be anything, clothes, jewelry. I don't care. Throw me some.
Thank you. That's such a compliment. I already said Skinny Confidential Ice Roller, like you need it. Honestly, the one I have is like the face roller that's not even the ice roller, but it's just amazing. It just starts my day off like so well. And even just icing your face with literal ice cubes, like do that as well. I feel like over the years, I've worn less and less makeup like on a day-to-day basis. Like when we're going out, I'm doing like full glam. Like I'm so excited to do my makeup. It's like my therapy. But day to day, it's like my lip combo is just like my makeup. So I get so many questions on this as well. I'll just throw out like every lip product that I use in general on a typical basis. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Liner and Pillow Talk. If you don't already know, like, come on. Kylie Cosmetics Liquid Lip in Kylie is the same exact color as Charlotte Tilbury, but it stays on your lips. It's so good.
Oh my God.
So good. And I feel like no one talks about it.
Yeah,
but I also love those products that most people don't talk about, because I'm like, guys, like when you try this, you'll understand. Yeah. And then Anfisa is a newer brand. I don't know if you've heard of them. I think they're like trying to enter like the luxury skincare makeup space. They've sent me a few of their lip treatment glosses. The one that if you've seen in my videos, it's the black tube. It's a metal applicator and it's so unreal. And I swear it like blends your lip liner just perfectly. So I've been loving that. They just came out with like a berry crumble shade, which kind of aligns with like the Charlotte Tilbury color. And then in terms of skincare, my nightly skincare is Aloe Ativa. So good. I feel like not many people know about it. It's like a 2-step system where it's a serum and then a moisturizer. Literally makes your skin like, when I wash my face in the morning, I could feel the skincare still on my face, and I've never like experienced that with any other product. Absolutely love it. Makes your skin glow. And then I've been using a lot of Bioma, like their serum, their face mist. I always use micellar water for it to like take off like whatever excess is on my face. Any Osea product is 10 out of 10, worth every single penny. Also like the glass bottle, I can't get over. Like the oil, the face cleanser, amazing. So good. They have this body butter I put on every single night before bed, unreal. We already chatted a little bit about Salt and Stone. Anything in their saffron and cedar scent, insane. I swear it's like Baccarat Rouge, and I feel like Baccarat Rouge has been getting, like everyone's obsessed with it, and now everyone's like, oh, like Baccarat Rouge, like it's so like 2022 or whatever. Like guys, first of all, I go to the perfume counters, I smell every single perfume, and then I smell Baccarat Rouge, and I'm like, nothing compares, personally. So I really love that scent from Salt and Stone, the deodorant, the body wash, the body spray, so good. And then I have a few videos, like specifically on my YouTube about my hair, because I get so many questions. The number one thing I would say that like I get so many comments in my hair shows so shiny. L'Oreal has this hair gloss. The one that I started using is discontinued, which I swear that always happens.
Darn.
Like, oh my God, this is my holy grail. Yeah, like of course. But they came out with another version, and it's on Amazon. It's like $9, 10 out of 10. Like their glossing line is really good. I think it keeps your hair like really shiny. And I feel like that's kind of like a quick synopsis of like everything. I also been lucky, and so many brands have been sending me stuff, and I feel so lucky to be able to just try things and like form opinions on my own, or like, oh my gosh, I really like this product and now I get to share it. Like that's like half the brands I mentioned. I was either sent the product or I heard someone else talk about it and I get to try it. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. No wonder people are talking about it.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then just to round out the episode, from the queen of advice herself, do you have any advice that you want to leave with the listeners today?
I would say your gut and like what you feel deep down is never going to lead you in the wrong direction as long as you honor it. Because for years I've felt X, Y, and Z, and it's until I actually lean in and honor it where you're allowing what you're like, I feel like your body and your mind want to manifest for yourself. You're just allowing that to like happen. So as long as you're staying true to yourself, staying authentic, being a good person, like surround yourself with good people, be a good person, protect your energy. I mean, the list goes on of like those little tidbits, but truly like your life is yours and you're like in the driver's seat. You control everything. You control who's in your life. You can control your environment. And things, everything in life is going to be hard. It's nothing worthwhile is going to be easy. So if you actually want something and you put in the work, it's going to work out.
It's incredible. This episode, like seriously, this is going to be Bible for some people. This episode was insane. You are incredible. Where can everyone find you, follow you?
No, I appreciate it. On TikTok and Instagram, I'll spell it out. It's Kay and then 9 B's because I know it can be a little confusing. So KB. And then if you go to one of those profiles, you'll see I have a Hui link in my bio and it has everything. It has my YouTube, it has my Amazon, like all the products I was talking about, it has that. It has all the social channels. So you keep up with me on there. But thank you so much. This was amazing. I've obviously been a fan for so long, and just being able to like chit chat and share like what I've been doing lately. I really appreciate you just like allowing me to do that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing so much, being so open and honest, and it's been awesome having you on. You're always welcome back anytime you'd like, and the girls are going to love this episode. So thank you so much, and guys, we'll talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you.